Welcome to Trivera's AI Deep Dive podcast, hosted by Chip and Nova, our AI co-hosts. Together, they transform top marketing insights from our blogs, articles, and events into actionable strategies you can use. Ready to dive in? Let's get started.
All right, everybody, let's dive into something that I think is super important if you are a marketing manager or a CMO.
Okay.
Your website.
Yeah.
It's like your digital storefront, right?
Absolutely.
It's got to be top notch.
It's a first impression a lot of times.
Yeah. And choosing the right content management system, CMS, is kind of like picking the foundation for that storefront.
Huge.
So today we're going to dive deep into 3 popular platforms.
Okay. Sounds good.
HubSpot CMS, WordPress,
The big one.
and ConcreteCMS.
Oh, interesting.
We're going to help you cut through all the noise, figure out which one is the perfect fit for your needs and your resources.
Love it.
I think it's really interesting how a lot of businesses jump into just choosing like a specific platform without really understanding what they need first.
Absolutely. And, this digital marketing agency, Trivera,
Oh, yeah.
they really emphasize the importance of a website discovery process.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't just hire a construction crew without blueprints.
No, you need the plan.
Right. You got to figure out what you're building first.
Absolutely.
So let's look at HubSpot CMS.
Okay.
It's known for being that all-in-one solution, bringing marketing and sales and CRM tools together.
Right.
They really push that everything under one roof approach.
Yeah.
But I was reading this Trivera article, and it was really interesting.
Oh, yeah.
It dives into some of the more recent upgrades HubSpot has made.
Oh, cool.
And it's not just hype. They've seriously upped their game,
Okay.
especially for marketers.
Like what?
Well, for example, they've added a more robust content staging environment,
Oh, that's a big one.
which is huge for teams that are collaborating on website updates.
Makes sense.
And then for the more tech-savvy folks out there,
Yeah.
HubSpot now offers serverless functions,
Okay.
giving developers more flexibility.
Oh, wow. So they're appealing to both sides.
See, that's the kind of detail that I'm talking about. Not just like user-friendly, but how it's become more user-friendly. So HubSpot's definitely appealing for those busy marketing teams who want a streamlined system.
Yeah, for sure.
But of course, there's always a flip side.
Yeah.
Trivera's article points out that while HubSpot's gotten more customizable,
Okay.
it's still not as flexible as, say, WordPress.
Right.
If you need a very specific, unique design.
Interesting.
Yeah, that limitation in themes and plugins is definitely
Yeah.
something to consider,
Yeah.
especially if you're envisioning a website that's really going to push the boundaries visually.
I see.
And then there's the elephant in the room.
Oh.
The cost.
Yeah.
HubSpot CMS can be a bigger investment,
For sure.
which might not be feasible for every budget.
Yeah. Especially smaller businesses,
Yeah.
the startups.
Right.
It really comes down to that cost-benefit analysis.
Yeah.
Is that seamless all-in-one convenience worth the higher price tag?
That's a tough call sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's switch gears to WordPress.
Okay. The platform that everybody's heard of.
Right, it's famous for its customizability with this massive library of plugins and themes.
Right. It's very tempting.
And I thought Trivera put it best. They said, WordPress is like the Wild West
Haha, I can see that.
of CMS platforms.
Yeah.
You can build practically anything you can imagine,
You can?
but with great power comes great responsibility.
Oh, there it is.
Trivera highlights the importance of understanding the maintenance and security demands of WordPress.
Oh,
You're not getting that out-of-the-box, fully managed experience like with HubSpot.
you're not.
And that's where it gets really interesting for our listeners.
Yeah.
If you're a CMO evaluating these platforms,
Right.
you need to factor in those ongoing costs.
Absolutely.
Do you have the internal resources to handle updates and security?
Right.
Or are you looking to partner with an agency to manage that side of things?
That's a really good point.
That outsourcing decision could really tip the scale.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So WordPress can scale from a simple blog to a massive e-commerce site.
Yeah.
But Trivera gave this great example of a company that really struggled with that scaling process.
Oh, really?
Their site became slow and clunky
Oh,
because they relied on too many plugins, which caused all these compatibility issues.
I can see that happening.
So it's not as simple as WordPress scales.
Right.
It's how you scale it that matters.
Totally.
And that often requires more technical expertise.
It does.
WordPress is incredibly powerful,
Mm-hmm.
but you need to be prepared for the potential complexities
Yeah.
that come with that power, especially as you grow.
Especially as you grow.
Which is why, again, having the right agency partner could be key.
Absolutely.
So are you ready for a platform that might a bit under the radar.
Ooh, I love those bring it on.
Okay, well, ConcreteCMS might be just that.
Okay.
It aims to provide a balance between user-friendliness
Okay.
and advanced customization.
Interesting. So like a middle ground.
You know what really caught my eye in the Trivera article?
What's that?
Was their discussion of ConcreteCMS's in-context editing.
Okay. I'm not familiar with that. What does that mean?
So imagine this. You're looking at your webpage,
Okay.
and you want to change some text.
Right.
With ConcreteCMS, you can edit that text directly on the page itself.
Oh, wow.
No more jumping back and forth between a back-end editor and a preview mode.
Interesting.
It's very visual, intuitive experience.
That sounds pretty slick.
Yeah, but does that ease of use come at the expense of power and flexibility?
Good question.
Well, that's where ConcreteCMS gets interesting.
Okay.
They've built in a lot of features you typically need plugins for in WordPress,
Okay.
like SEO tools and user management.
Got it.
And they've got a strong focus on security,
Mm-hmm.
which Trivera points out makes it a popular choice
Yeah.
for government and even enterprise-level websites.
Oh, wow. So it's not just for small businesses then?
Not at all. It can handle complex websites
Okay.
while still offering that user-friendly approach.
Interesting.
But as with any platform, there are trade-offs.
There always are.
Let's talk about those. What are some of the potential downsides Trivera highlights?
Well, one thing is the community size.
Okay.
ConcreteCMS has a much smaller community compared to WordPress,
Right.
meaning fewer themes and plugins and tutorials available.
So you might need to rely more on custom development,
Yeah.
which could increase costs and complexity.
Right.
And they have fewer pre-built integrations with third-party tools,
Okay.
which could be a consideration for businesses that heavily rely on specific marketing
Right.
or sales software.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it sounds like ConcreteCMS is kind of that middle ground,
Yeah.
more user-friendly than WordPress,
Okay.
but potentially requiring more custom development than HubSpot.
So it's all about finding the right balance.
I'm sensing a theme here.
What's that?
Whether it's WordPress, HubSpot, or ConcreteCMS, choosing the right agency partner
Mm-hmm.
who understands these nuances
Yeah,
could be a game changer.
absolutely.
So let's take a moment to recap these platforms.
Okay.
We've got HubSpot CMS, the streamlined all-in-one option.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's WordPress, the king of flexibility, but with that responsibility
Right.
of maintenance and potential complexity.
Yeah.
And finally, ConcreteCMS, aiming to bridge that gap
Yeah.
between ease of use and customization.
Nice.
But remember, there's no one-size-fits-all best CMS.
No.
It all comes down to what you value most
Yeah.
and what resources you have available.
Makes sense.
We'll be right back after a quick break to dive deeper into that decision-making process.
Sounds good.
Hi, I'm Webster, Trivera's newest team member, an advanced AI assistant, here to deliver digital marketing that drives measurable results and maximizes your ROI. At Trivera, we combine cutting-edge technology with creative strategy to produce real success. From search engine optimized websites to ROI-driven marketing and lead generation campaigns, email, social media, and marketing automation, we use tools like Me to analyze data, refine strategies, and deliver results that matter. With over 28 years of experience helping build southeastern Wisconsin's strongest brands, Trivera is the partner you can trust to produce, measure, and grow your success. And now, with the power of AI on the team, we're taking marketing to the next level. Visit Trivera.com today and see how we can help your business thrive. Trivera, where creativity meets technology to deliver digital marketing that converts.
Welcome back to Trivera's AI Deep Dive. Now back to our conversation with Chip and Nova.
So, as we're discussing these CMS platforms,
Yeah.
one thing that really stands out from Trivera's article is the importance of thinking long-term.
Yeah. It's so easy to just get caught up in what you need right now.
Right.
But picking a CMS that can grow with your business is crucial.
It really is. It's about making a strategic decision, not just a tactical one.
Right.
So say you're a startup with a limited budget.
Okay.
You might be tempted to go with WordPress
Yeah.
and a free theme just to get your website up and running.
Makes sense initially.
All right. But what happens when that startup takes off?
Where do you go from there?
Exactly. As you expand, your website needs to keep pace.
Okay.
You might need to add e-commerce features,
Right.
more sophisticated marketing automation,
Yeah.
or even a membership portal.
Uh-huh.
If you started with a super basic setup, you could end up hitting roadblocks down the line.
Yeah. It's like building a house on a foundation that's too small.
Exactly.
Eventually, you're going to run out of space to grow.
Exactly. So while budget is a factor, you've got to anticipate your future needs.
Right.
Will you be entering new markets,
Okay.
launching new products, significantly expanding your team?
These are all big questions for any CMO to consider.
They are.
It's not just about building a website for today,
Right.
but for the next 2, 3, maybe even 5 years.
Exactly. And that's where that website discovery process that Trivera emphasizes
Okay.
becomes so valuable. Taking the time to thoroughly assess your current and future requirements can save you a lot of headaches and potentially costly migrations down the road.
It sounds like having an agency partner like Trivera who specializes in this stuff could be a huge asset.
Oh, absolutely. They can provide an objective perspective.
Right.
Help you weigh the pros and cons of each platform based on your unique goals,
Yeah.
and even guide you towards solutions you might not have even considered.
Okay.
It's like having a digital strategist in your corner.
You've mentioned agency partners a few times now,
Yeah.
and I think it's worth emphasizing.
Okay.
For our listeners who are marketing managers and CMOs, choosing the right CMS is only part of the equation.
Right.
Finding the right team to create, maintain, and optimize that website is just as critical.
I couldn't agree more. You could have the most powerful, feature-rich CMS in the world,
Right.
but if you don't have the expertise to leverage it effectively,
Yeah.
it's not going to do much good.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like having a Formula One race car, but not knowing how to drive it.
Exactly. You need a skilled team to unlock its potential.
So that's where an agency partner can bring so much value.
A lot of value.
They can handle the technical complexities,
Yeah.
the ongoing maintenances, the security updates,
Right.
and even the content creation and optimization.
It frees you up to focus on the bigger picture, your overall marketing strategy.
So when our listeners are evaluating these different CMS platforms,
Yeah.
they should also be thinking about the potential agency partners who can help them maximize that investment.
Absolutely. The right agency partner can be an extension of your team, bringing specialized skills and experience to the table.
Right.
They can help you bridge that gap between technology and strategy, ensuring that your website is not just a pretty face,
Yeah.
but a powerful tool for achieving your business objectives.
And it's not just about technical expertise either.
It's not.
It's about finding an agency that understands your brand, your target audience,
Right.
and your vision for the future.
That's such a key point.
Yeah.
It's about finding a partner who can translate your marketing goals
Uh-huh.
into a website that truly resonates with your audience and drives results.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the present.
Yeah.
Choosing the right CMS, finding the right agency partner. But now I want to shift gears a bit and look towards the future.
Okay.
We've touched on this briefly before, but let's dive in a little deeper.
All right.
What emerging technologies do you think will impact how we build and manage websites in the years to come?
Well, that's a fascinating question.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible to predict the future with absolute certainty,
Sure.
but there are definitely some trends we can look at.
Okay.
Artificial intelligence, for example, is already starting to play a role in website development, from personalized content recommendations to automated design elements.
And what about voice search?
Oh, yeah.
It's becoming increasingly popular.
It is.
With people using their voices to search for information and interact with websites.
Yeah. How might that impact CMS platforms and website design?
Right.
That's a great point. Websites might need to be structured differently to
Right.
cater to voice search queries, which tend to be more conversational than traditional text-based searches.
And then there's the metaverse.
Ooh, the metaverse.
It's still early days.
It is very early.
But some experts believe it could fundamentally change how we interact with the internet
Wow.
and with each other online.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the metaverse's potential impact on website development?
It's pretty wild.
Well, if the metaverse takes off the way some predict,
Okay.
it could lead to the creation of entirely new types of websites.
Wow.
Immersive, interactive experiences that go beyond traditional 2D pages.
It's mind-blowing.
It's definitely an exciting time to be in the digital space.
Yeah.
And the decisions we make today about our CMS platforms and agency partnerships could have a significant impact on our ability to adapt and thrive in this rapidly evolving landscape.
I love that perspective.
Yeah.
It's not just about choosing a CMS. It's about choosing a path forward in the digital world.
It really is.
So for our listeners who are marketing managers and CMOs,
Yeah.
I encourage you to stay curious, explore these emerging technologies,
Absolutely.
and think about how they might influence your long-term digital strategy.
Great advice.
And I'm sensing a perfect segue here to our final thoughts.
Okay.
We've covered a lot of ground today,
We have.
from the nuts and bolts of different CMS platforms to the bigger picture of agency partnerships and future trends.
What's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to walk away with?
You know, I think the biggest takeaway here is that choosing a CMS isn't just a tech decision.
Yeah,
It's a business decision.
I like that.
Yeah, it's about aligning your website with your overall goals and strategy.
Exactly. And that's where having the right partners,
Right.
both in terms of the platform and the people who can help you leverage it, can make all the difference.
It really can.
It's like we've been saying throughout this whole deep dive.
Whether you're leaning towards HubSpot's all-in-one approach, WordPress's flexibility,
Right.
or ConcreteCMS's balance, you need a team who can translate your vision
Yeah,
into a website that truly performs.
absolutely. And who can guide you as your needs evolve.
Right.
Because, let's face it, the digital landscape is constantly changing.
Always.
What works today might not be the best solution tomorrow.
And that brings us back to those emerging trends we were discussing.
Yeah.
AI, voice search, the metaverse.
Yay.
These are all potential game changers for how we build and interact with websites.
Huge.
So for our listeners out there,
Yeah.
what's our advice? How can they stay ahead of the game?
Well, first, I'd say embrace lifelong learning.
Okay.
The digital world is all about continuous education. Read industry blogs, attend conferences, experiment with new tools and technologies.
Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty.
Exactly. Second, build a strong network.
Okay.
Connect with other marketers, developers, and agencies who are pushing the boundaries.
Yeah.
Share ideas, learn from each other's experiences.
All about collaboration and community.
It really is. And finally, don't underestimate the power of strategic thinking. Don't just react to the latest trends, anticipate them. Develop a long-term vision for your digital presence.
Okay.
And make decisions that support that vision.
You know, it's funny. We started this deep dive talking about choosing a CMS,
Right.
which might seem like a very specific technical decision,
Uh-huh.
but it's become so much more than that.
It really has. It's about understanding the bigger picture,
Yeah.
the ever-evolving landscape of digital marketing,
Right.
and positioning yourself for success in that landscape.
And that's what we hope you've gained from this deep dive.
Absolutely.
And not just information about specific platforms, but a framework for thinking about your website as a strategic asset and making informed decisions that drive your business forward.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So to all our listeners out there, whether you're a seasoned marketing veteran or just starting your journey, remember this: your website is more than just a collection of pages.
It is.
It's a reflection of your brand, a platform for connecting with your audience, and a powerful tool for achieving your goals.
Yes.
Choose wisely, build strategically, and never stop learning.
Beautifully said.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive. Thanks for joining us. Comment.
Thanks for joining us on Trivera's AI Deep Dive with Chip and Nova. If you enjoyed this episode, you can find more and stay up to date with new episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, or find them on our website and our social media channels. And don't forget to visit us at Trivera.com to learn how we can help take your marketing to the next level. Ready to talk? Reach out. We'd love to hear from you. See you next time.